Is Terry online? Okay. And I think Gordon, we cannot hear you. Right. Okay, Jingxing, could you introduce CSAC?
Yeah, sure. The Chinese American engineers and scientists of Southern California, known as CSAC, are founded in 1962. And CSAC has been serving the community via technical symposiums, scholarships, business innovation programs, and STEM workshops and contests. And all these programs have benefited many students and early career professionals. CSAC is also honored to have many celebrities as presented on this page. Back to you.
Okay, so today I would like to introduce the speaker, Dr. Jonathan H. Zhang. He is the principal. He is the principal scientist at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at Caltech, and he has been working there for over 20 years. And in addition, he is also a very accomplished educator who has held hundreds of seminars that have taught many hundreds or thousands of students.
All right, okay, so now let's begin the seminars. Okay. And thank you very much for those introductions. So, and as traditional, when I started seminar, I'm going to close my video. So you are not look at my face, but you are going to look at the slides. Okay, so space travel. And when I was a little boy, I remember my father told me one thing. It's a story about his father, okay, which is my grandfather. My grandfather was, when he was small, he lived by the train station. Grandfather's father was worker on the train station. So my grandfather heard a story. Okay, well, what is the train station for? The train station is if you take the train, okay, no matter where, which city, you can go all the cities in the country within a day or two, right? Now, when my father was a little boy, okay, my father heard another story because the grandfather told my father, hey, you know what? In the future, there are going to be airports, okay? If you go to the airports, you take the airplane, you can go any city around the world in a day and two, right? So today, my turn, okay? So I'm going to tell the students, okay, everybody sit here. When you're grown up, one day there's going to be a spaceport, whatever you want to call it. You go to the spaceport, you take a spaceship, any place in the solar system you can go. Okay. So this is the dreams, so to speak. Okay, so let me start by say something why we need to do that. Now, people ever ask the question about what type of civilizations we have, okay? Now, based on Russian scientist, Kardashev, he said there's a three type of civilizations. It's called type 1, type 2, type 3. Of course, the initial idea is how much energy we can consume in order to survive our society, our civilization. Now, if it's the 10 to the power of 16 watts, if you can, on that scale, we are type 1. If it's 10 to the power 26, we're type 2. If it's 10 to the power 36, type 3. Some people say, hey, that's easy, let's burn the energy. Okay. But there's a problem. If you burn all the fossil fuel on the earth, okay, if you create everything you want, of course, you can achieve 10 to the power 16 watts, but you destroy the earth. To become a civilization, it means you can use this much amount of energy, but it still survive. So type 1 civilization says, hey, we are in peace with the earth. In the future, if the earth is here, we survive. Type 2 civilization says, hey, and we are going to live throughout the solar systems. We are in peace with solar systems. If the solar system is going to be survived, we survive. Type 2 civilization says we are travel to the stars. Even if in the future our sun is dead, we still survive because we can live by the other stars. So people is asking, how about us? What type of civilization we have? We're type 0.7. Okay, we still have lots of problems to overcome, to achieve. Whether or not we can survive, we can in peace with the earth, we don't know yet. Let's say, hey, maybe in the future we can do it. So my student and I, we used to have a paper to see predicting the timeline for us to reach type 1 civilization. The conclusion based on our current data is about 2371. That means 350 years away. It's about 350 years away. So we are not there yet. Okay. So people thinking, okay, why does this matter? Okay, we're talking about survive here. Okay. So you see the paper title, it said avoiding the great filter. People say, what is the great filter? Great filter is something stop us to survive. Now on this figure, you see the earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Life appeared on the earth about 3 billion years ago. So we overcome lots of things, you know. The dinosaurs wiped out, okay, but we survived. So we are here. So this is us. So we are not type 1 civilization yet. We are not type 2 civilization yet. If we want to travel to the star, we got to reach type 3 civilization. However, maybe there's a great filter there to stop us to become type 3 civilization or even type 1 civilization. Why people think that? People think, hey, the universe is old. There's billions, hundreds of billions of stars, trillions of galaxies in the universe.
Yeah, sorry for interruption, but we online attendees cannot see the whole screen.
Cannot see the whole screen.
Yes.
Okay.
So can you maybe you can exit the screen sharing and the share screen again.
Okay. Let me go into do you cannot see the share full screen, right? And so maybe okay, on top of the menu, okay, and it's not my problem, it's your Zoom. On top of your Zoom, you click fit the screens. Okay, that's a 100%, 200% of fit the screen. If you click the fit the screen, you should see the full screens. If I'm sharing screen, okay, if you go to the Zoom, and I cannot do that now because I'm sharing the screens. Okay, let me do it again, okay, to see if you can see my full screens. Okay. So I'm going to get out from the show here. Okay. I'm going to share my screens, okay? No, if you are on the share screen, you can click the fit screen, or 50%, or 100%, 200%, and on top of your Skype. Okay, Jinxin, could you do that? Okay.
Yeah, we can see the whole screen right now. So I think you can present. You can make a presentation mode. Yeah.
Okay.
You can show whole screen right now. I think this time it works.
All right. Okay. And so I'm going to be on the presentation mode now. Okay. Okay. And how about now? You can see my full screen.
Wait a few seconds.
Okay. Now on the top of your Zoom, you should click fit your screens. Okay, Jinxin, you can see my full screen.
No, still not. Even though I clicked on fit to window, and I also tried the original size.
All right. Okay. So, and okay. So I'm going back to to this window. You can see my screen now.
This one is good.
Yeah, right now it's perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. So, and I believe something wrong on your side. You should be able to select the share. But anyway, I'm going to show that. Okay, so the reason we think that's a great filter is perhaps, it's okay. You see, the universe is big. There are hundreds of billions of stars and trillions of galaxies. And so if we are here, maybe there are some aliens there. Why not aliens have already visited us? Why not aliens come to share something with us? Okay, it's silent. Okay, that means nobody can survive something long enough, can develop technology to reach us, same as us. You know, we are advanced, but we cannot reach for the stars for now. Okay, so that means the great filter. So let's share a video which is.
Professor Stephen Hawking and other scientists believe that to secure the future of the human species, we must colonize another planet.
To stay risks annihilation. It could be an asteroid hitting the Earth. It could be a new virus, climate change, nuclear war, artificial intelligence gone rogue. We can and must use our curiosity and intelligence to look to the stars. We must do it now before humanity is overtaken by some disaster that we can neither anticipate nor control. One of our species' great strengths is embracing new ideas and evolving them into cutting-edge technologies. Just look at advances we've made in the fields of medicine, communications, and electronics. We only built the first silicon chip 60 years ago. Now it powers just about every aspect of our lives. Our ingenuity will get us to Proxima b.
He mentioned Proxima b. What is the Proxima b? It's a planet cycling the Proxima Centauri. Proxima Centauri is the star closest to us, 4.2 light years away. Okay, so that's our best bet. Now, when we can go to Proxima b. So here's a table based on our current study. All right, so our current study says, and we are on track, okay, to go to, okay, we already landed on the moon. We can land it on Mars by something like 2038. Okay, NASA's plan to do that. Okay, maybe the asteroid belt 2064. Okay, maybe Jupiter's moon 2076. But to go to the Proxima b, which is here, is still 200 years away. Okay, so your grandchildren's grandchildren's children probably can go to Proxima b. This estimate is based on our current speed of technology advancement. Based on our current speed of technology advancement. Okay, so let's go back to the question why we need to do the space travel. Okay, the reason to space travel is, from a logical point of view, only we take the courage to expand beyond the Earth can long-term survival of mankind is guaranteed. Because we are trapped on a tiny world with limited resources. Long-term does not mean 100 years. Not even means 200 years. Long-term means millions of years into the future. If you can survive that long, we go to the stars. We go to the stars. Okay, so the Earth is just too small and fragile for the human race to keep everything in it. Now, what is the current development? All right, okay, so current development. And outside the Earth, 1959, Soviet spacecraft, Lunar 1 is the first spacecraft goes to the moon. Goes to the moon. Caltech spacecraft go to the moon around 1961. Okay. Now, between 1969 and 1972 is Apollo program, astronaut landing on the moon. According to the existing plans, the current plan, okay, NASA is planning to land the astronaut on Mars in late 2030s, probably 2038. That's the current plan. Now, so how about in the future? So prediction the future is very difficult. I say, hey, and even go to the Mars. We say the current plan, but it's not guaranteed because it's influenced by many things. Okay. For example, policy changes, government priorities. Okay, we can spend money on what? Or maybe we destroy ourselves too fast. Before we do that, our Earth destroyed. Okay, so that's the future is very not certain. Okay, so what else? Now, the flyby, it means it just pass by. Landing is you actually not only fly by, you go there to land it on the surface. Okay. Now, I mentioned the 1959 Lunar 1 flyby. Okay. Now, 1966 Soviet 1 and designed by JPL is landed on the moon. Of course, 1969 astronaut was landed on the moon. The Mars, the first time we landed on the Mars is 1977. It's called the Viking 1 spacecraft landed on the Mars. So that shows the human progress into another planet. Of course, we are landing on the Mars right now every 2 or 3 years now. But the human is scheduled to land on the Mars 2038. That is the closest event. By 2038, I'm pretty sure I can still survive to see that. Okay, but you're, yeah, for sure, you can see that the event is going to happen. All right, so what else? Now, according to the current estimate, human landing on the Mars, asteroid, and moons of Jupiter, moons of Saturn is going to be realized and by the end of this century. Okay, 2100. That's almost done deal. So your life may not be my life. In your lifetime, your children's lifetime, your grandchildren's lifetime, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. So how about the NASA Artemis program? NASA Artemis program is go to the moon to build a base on the moon. Okay, and so that's going to happen starts 2028. In the next 20 years, if you think about the next 20 years, you are going to see moon base is going to build. If you think about the next 50 years, okay, the base on the Mars is going to be built. Okay, so this is going to be happen slowly. Now let's think about our ancestors. 200,000 years ago, let's say starts about 2 million years ago, our ancestor was in Africa. Okay, starts around 200, 100,000 years ago, our ancestors start to move out. Why? Because resources is limited, the climate is changing. You need to survive, you need the food. So they gradually move to another continent over the past 100,000 years. So that's why we survive. We become multi-continental and species. We do that is for the better survival. Okay. Nowadays, if we want to survive the Earth is a tiny point in the long run. In the next 100,000 years, I should say, we are going to move out. Not only live on the Earth, to build a city on the Earth, we are going to move out into the solar system. So this is what we are going to do. There's many studies say if we don't, okay, because you see in the center of this image is the Earth. It's the Earth. It's a tiny, it's called a pale blue dot. It's the Earth. Currently, we are trapped on this tiny dot with limited resources. In the long run, if we don't move, we dead. So that's why we need to move. And there's a series of studies published by peer-reviewed scientific journals. It says, according to recent studies, intelligent species like us can only survive less than a few centuries. Okay. So if we want to survive in the long term, the space exploration and colonization is necessary. It's necessary. So this is based on our current scientific studies. Now, I mentioned the budget. Okay, so it's not cheap. Okay, if you go out, we need to spend money. Okay, but the only thing to stop us is people don't want to spend that money or people don't want to do it. Well, and so I'm spending a comfortable life. So where our money is spent, I'm talking about the government money. The most government money, the biggest spending is military. Okay. Yeah, it is. It is the and it's to develop weapon to kill somebody, and it's preparation for the war. Yeah, it's preparation for the war. NASA's budget is about 25 billion, I should say, but military budget more than 800 billion. Every country is like that. Every country is like that. So if you want to develop a spacecraft to go to the moon, how much you want? I want $500 million. No. If you want to have a aircraft carrier, how much? 15 billion. Do it. So that's current mindset right now. Now you can see here, and now this is normalized up so about $2016. Okay, so budget after World War II. Every time we have a war, you see the Korean War, Vietnam War, and Iraq wars. Money spent. Okay. Now, okay, during the Trump time, it used to be low. You don't have a war. Okay. Now we have a war again. Okay. So this is early this year, and the budget is ballooned again. How much? More than 800 billion. More than 800 billion. This is humans. It's currently is doing right now. Currently is doing that now. Now, how about peaceful space exploration? So here's the budget. Okay. Now in the 1960s, because of the competition with the Soviets, okay, so that's the moon programs. And so it used to be high. Okay, now it's just level up. So this is the current budget and situation. So not only US, I use US as an example, it's every country is like that. Okay. Every country is spending lots of technology, the most human resources, most money, most our intelligence to build up the militaries. Okay, you see this is the budget in China, Chinese militaries. Woo! The sky over there. All right, so the answer is space exploration. No money. Okay, and but this does not stop us to do it. All right, so I mentioned NASA's budget. NASA's budget is around 22 billion. Okay, to the best with inflation adjustment this year, 25 billion. Okay, how about China Space Agency is about 11 billion. The European Space Agency is 7 billion. Okay, so all those money around the world you add together, used for space exploration. I think one billionaire can pay everything. Okay, if a multi-billionaire, I can pay everything. But what's the profit? Okay, people think about it. If I spend money, I need to have a profit. Okay, but you are the young people, so that I let you know this is the current situation because when you grown up, you guys make decisions. Okay, you guys are businessmen. You guys are government officers. You make decisions. You make determination whether or not you want to do it. But this is the current situation. Now, so far the government spent most of the money. This is the government funded and aerospace agencies. Okay. How about the private? Those are the private companies. Okay, and plan to do that. Virgin Galactic. Okay, Blue Origin. Blue Origin, Orion Span, SpaceX, Boeing. Those are the biggest private companies. They want to invest money to do it. Okay, so I'm going to introduce some of the project currently right now is doing. The private company is doing. One is called the space balloon. Now, space balloon actually is not exactly go to the space, okay? Because balloon, you need atmosphere, you need the air to be flow. If you truly go to the space, then it's vacuum, right? But the height of the atmosphere is about 100 kilometers. So balloon is flying if it's higher than about 18, 19, 20 kilometers, okay, that's enough to see the curvature of the Earth, So that's the space balloon is currently doing, okay? Now, what's for to space, and so why people want to develop space balloons, okay? We want to explore space, but at the same time, we want to earn some money because a private company, if I invest in, right, I want to earn some money. So this is, the goodness about space balloon is, now, if you go to the space, if you take a rocket, my God, it's going to be not easy. That's weightless. Okay, if you're not in a good health, say if your mom and dad want to go to space, it's very difficult. Okay, and so to withstand the rocket launch, maybe it's not easy. But balloon can slowly ascend. Take an hour. Take about an hour. Then slow descend. You don't feel the big push. You don't feel even weightlessness. Okay, so people can enjoy. So currently, and there's a design of balloon stations. Okay, this is you can see this is a balloon station. There's a test flight. You can see people in the balloon. This is about 40 kilometers above the ground. You can see curvature of the Earth. Okay, so you can see, wow, kind of experience about space travel. Okay, so I'm going to see here's the V. About space balloons, okay? So let me adjust the screen a little bit. So, okay, so let's, okay, what's next? Okay. So the second thing is I'm going to talk about is called space elevators. I mentioned if you take rocket launch, it's not easy. How about let's build a big elevators? You launch a big satellite first into the orbit. Then the cable is done. The satellite has to be above the equators. So the rotation of the satellite around the Earth is the same speed as Earth's rotation, so it's stable. So there is a cable downstream. So this has been studied. It is possible. Okay? So you take the space elevator up and coming down. The most difficult thing is to build that is you need a very good cables, strong cables. The cable has to be very strong, won't be broken. If it's broken, well, it's dangerous. Okay, so maybe you need quite a few cables. Okay, one backup cable, then backup cables. But this is workable. In the industry, there's quite a few designs about this cable. I think there's a movie to talk about the cable designs. Okay.
The space elevator concept, with the idea being to stretch a cable or tether from a ground station on the equator up to an orbital platform. A carriage with an internal climbing mechanism would then travel up the cable to carry people and cargo into space. Almost certainly, the carriage would need to receive power via laser or microwave transmission. The platform would be positioned in a geostationary orbit about 22,000 miles or 35,000 kilometers above the Earth. However, the space elevator's tether would have to extend far beyond to a counterweight that would keep it taut. In a June 2000 report for the NASA Institute for Advanced Concepts, researcher Bradley C. Edwards estimated that the total length of the cable would need to be about 60,000 miles or 96,000 kilometers. Building a space elevator would clearly be very hard indeed. But so too was placing a human being on the moon 50 years ago. The benefits of a space elevator could also be very significant, as access to space would be greatly improved. In turn, this could allow the construction of solar power satellites that could beam energy to the ground. A space elevator could also allow human civilization to obtain new supplies of raw materials by mining the asteroids or the moon. The finite resources of the Earth will not last forever. Constructing a space elevator may hence prove a critical stepping stone for the long-term survival and evolution of our species. One day, we may also construct a lunar elevator to provide access to the surface of the moon. This could improve the financial viability of lunar mining and would in some respects be easier to build, as the moon's gravity is only about 17% of that of the Earth. This means that a lunar elevator could be constructed using existing materials to manufacture the cable. For example, a viable lunar elevator tether could be fashioned from the synthetic fibres Dymena or Xylon. While the cable in an Earth space elevator would be held taut primarily by the Earth's rotational acceleration, for a lunar equivalent, the moon's gravitational force would need to be counterbalanced by the Earth's tidal acceleration. This means that a lunar elevator tether would have to extend from the lunar surface through to a platform at the Earth-Moon Lagrange L1 point about 56,000 kilometers from the Moon, and to a counterweight at a balance point between the Moon and the Earth. In a 2017 paper, space elevator advocate T.M. Eubanks also suggested that the logical follow-up to the construction of Earth and lunar elevators would be a Mars space elevator. This, he suggests, could have its cable anchored to the Martian moon Phobos, and would provide easier access to the surface of the red planet. Several space agencies, companies and individuals have promoted space elevator visions. Not least, materials prepared for NASA between 2000 and 2003 developed the concept significantly, while since 2003 a company called Liftport has been focusing on researching lunar space elevator technologies. Between 2005 and 2009, NASA also hosted several space elevator games to catalyse technology development. Similar competitions have also taken place in Japan and Europe. In 2012, Japanese construction company Obayashi floated the ambition to build a space elevator by 2050. Meanwhile, in November 2017, the China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology revealed long-term plans that could include building a space elevator by 2045. In September 2018, scientists from Japan's Shizuoka University even sent 2 CubeSats to the International Space Station to be released into space to study the movement of a container along a cable in space. The human race needs to start thinking big and differently if we're to overcome the many environmental and resource and other challenges that lie ahead. And space elevators and space elevator type thinking may well be part of that.
You see, space elevators. So that means in the future, maybe we go to the moon just by take the elevator. Okay, we go to the Earth's orbit by the elevator, go to the moon by the elevator. One day we go to the Mars, we near the Mars, we take the elevator down. It is possible in your lifetime. Okay, it is possible in your lifetime. Let's say what else? Okay, suborbital space flight. Okay, let's say we are going to take the airplanes. Okay. Half airplane, half rocket engine, okay? We are going to high, 100 kilometers high, okay? Then we stay there for about 10 minutes and coming down. What's the price? Maybe 200K, okay? And maybe 100K in the cheaper, okay? You know, somebody want to pay them because they want to experience the spray and flight. So the first successful and a flight, okay, Virgin Galactic, it did 2014. Okay, now it had a spaceship two, and from the air by mothership named and Space H2 was launched from mid-air. Okay, the airplane is taken to the mid-air, then rocket is launched. Okay, now what else? And they are going to develop Spaceship 3. the purpose is point-to-point suborbital space flight. Okay, we take spaceship 2 to here, then launch a spaceship 2, we go to China, for example. Okay, point-to-point spaceship flight. Maybe space hotels. Okay, spaceship 4. Okay, which is another orbiting spaceship. Okay, that can dock a space hotel in the future. So you are not only to build a space station, but space hotels. How to go to the hotel? You take spaceship 4, dock in the hotels, go back to the Earth and take the spaceship there. So this is Virgin Galactic is doing that. All right, what else? Okay. Oh, okay, let's see. I have a video here is talk about not only the Virgin Galactic. Say you take a rocket from Los Angeles to go to Beijing. Okay, let's say in 1 hour. Okay, to see if you can do that. Okay. This is another speed.
Strap-in complete. Fin and TVC checks good. Gear check good. Surface checks good. Escape system enabled. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Reach 100 kilometers. The vacuum. Yes, this was designed by company Blue Origin. Yeah, Blue Origin. So their goal is to attract the passengers. It's money. To get experience in space. The rocket was go back to the Earth recycle.
Relight confirmed. Throttling up. Gear down. Booster touchdown. Main parachutes deployed.
how about another one? I think this one is travel from city to city. So this is going to happen in your future. Okay, if you work on that. All right. Okay, what else? Let's see. Okay, the space station. Okay, so the space station right now, we only have one international space station. Okay, in the future, we may have more space stations. Now, space station, let's say we want to travel to Mars. Okay, if we go to the orbit, we go to the moon, we need to take a rest. Okay, then we are in a rest few days and we travel again. So where to stay? The space station. Okay, now we have an international space station, but international space station is designed only for the astronaut right now. Okay, because there's a weightlessness. Okay, it's uncomfortable to stay. But the ordinary people want to go to the space station. It's better to have a rest. There's a hotels. Okay, space stations. So it's called a rotating wheel space stations. So it will simulate the artificial gravities. Okay, it rotates. The speed of rotates can control. If you go there, you feel the gravity. Okay, so that's the rotating space station. The rotating space station concept actually was come up more than 100 years ago. Okay, more than 100 years ago. NASA used to propose the rotation international space station. Okay, and for example, it has a module was here is about $83 million. Then if the crewed spacecraft is rotating and spacecraft was proposed, but later was killed because the Congress didn't approve it. You see, the budget was not approved by the Congress. It's too expensive. And it's not saying we don't have the idea, we have the technology to do that. It just don't have the money. It just not approved. Okay. So, and private company has to do it. Private company has to do it. Okay. So, and talking about space hotel is a big, gigantic rotating space stations. Okay. There's a hotel. Let me, okay, let me take that. Okay, so the space hotels it has to be big. If it's small, it cannot simulate the gravities very well. Okay, so the first thing is, it's space hotels. The space hotel is you cargo ship into the space hotel, then to stay there. Okay, then come back. I think it's best to illustrate, and I think there's a movie to illustrate space hotel. This is because the gravity is very low, you can jump very high. Okay, just before the pandemic, there's a California private company called Gateway Foundation. Okay, proposed to do that. Okay, it will build a space hotel which has 24 modules. Okay, probably 24 bedrooms. Okay, then the original plan is to put this in operational 2027. Okay, now the pandemic happened, so there's a delay, but the company is not stopped. Okay, probably the 3 years delay, so by something like 2030, they're going to put space hotel in orbit. They got the heavy investment to do that, and so we'll see whether or not it will become the reality. Okay, so this is space hotels. There's actually many designs of cool designs of space hotels. Now, not only space hotels but space cities. NASA's original idea in 1970s is to build a space city. It's a big, gigantic structure slowly rotating and talk about space city. Okay, you see, this is the inside of space city, and you have a house, you have a farmland, and so on. You can see this is a big space city. Okay, you have countryside, you have cities. Okay, now this is another design, and of the space city. Let me see what else. Oh, okay, even they have a highways. Okay, and you see inside space city, and it's the highways. Okay, so let's see what else. So okay, this is to illustrate space cities. All right. Okay, now another thing is moon base. I mentioned 2028. NASA is going to land astronauts on the moon. So now to start to build a moon base, how to design the moon base, and there are lots of high school students. They want to design it. Okay, because it's their future. Okay, I can imagine not only the moon base, what is the housing looks like, what is the transportation looks like. Okay, to design the moon base, not only we need the science and engineering, we also need artists. Okay, and to come up with ideas of this moon base. Okay, now lunar base, and it is right now the ongoing program is NASA Artemis programs. Okay, Artemis program is going to land astronaut and by 2028. Okay, so the 2028 is plan is not just to visit and come back. So astronaut will live on the moon. Okay, in the future for about a month and two, maybe a few months. There's another crew coming in. Okay, live on the moon base for a few months. Okay, this is the initial plan. NASA had money planning to do that. But in the future, long-term stay, like the cities and like the villages, okay, maybe in my view, we'll rely on the private companies, maybe rely on you to do that. Okay, so and also transportation. Okay, and some people come up with the animation. What's the transportation looks like? This is one. I'm going to show it. Okay, so how about Mars? Okay, let's say so we also have a plan for Mars. Okay, NASA planned to land astronaut on the Mars 2038. Okay. And we don't have the plan to build city yet, but to build a base, okay, on the Mars, so people can live there in the long term. There's NASA actually started in 2015, so there's quite few phases. The first phase, of course, you live in the International Space Station to get some experience. The second phase, you really need to go to the Mars. Okay. Now, but you go to the Mars, you are going to rely the resources on the Earth. Okay, like the food, like the energy, you have the cargo ship there. Then finally, okay, if you can do it without using Earth resources, okay, at least part of the resources will come from locally. Okay, for example, the greenhouse, maybe the energy production, maybe the waters. Okay, that will be good. Okay, so this is the current and plan. Okay, there's many design and about the city at the moon. Okay, let's say what this video is about. I think there's a video about. Let me see. Oh yes, NASA's Mars space design. Right. Yes. Okay. Called Surface Field Station. Okay, so this is the current designs. And of course, okay, let's see what else? Okay, so now, how about the people go to the moon base? Okay, go to the Mars. Go to Mars is not easy. You need about 6 months travel, okay, to do that. So sometimes people were thinking, hey, in between the Earth and Mars, maybe there's a rotating space station. You can take a rest, okay? Then to go there again, okay? But this is still in the plan and in the planning. And now the private company, people know Elon Musk, okay, is going to build the big rocket, okay, and it's going to it's called the Starship, okay, Starship rocket. He's planning to do that, but I'm interested to see whether or not it can become reality. Okay, I think about 25 years ago, okay, SpaceX is only a very small company, okay, only a few people. The people asking you, what you're going to do? He said, I'm going to build rockets, to build spaceships, go to the moon, go to the Mars. People think, oh my God, you're crazy. Why? Because NASA is already doing that. Why you are still doing that? Okay. See, European Space Agency is already doing that. But why you are still doing that? But today, Elon Musk is NASA's contractor. He builds rockets cheaper and better than NASA. And the guy is planning to build rockets to go to the Mars. We'll see. And the original plan, you can see in 2026, now 2023 already, okay? And 2 spacecraft will carry the first crew to Mars. Elon Musk was announced 2017, he's going to do that. Okay, I'm not sure if the pandemic already delayed the schedule. Let's say delayed, okay? But soon, he's going to do that. Another 2 spacecraft will bring more mechanical equipment and materials. They are going to build a permanent production plant and build a base to prepare follow-up immigration. See, this is big. Okay. Now this video, okay, this is their plan, to build the cities on the Mars. Okay, can host 1 million people. I don't know this will realize within 100 years or in your grandchildren's lifetime. But people had a dream to do that. Not only had a dream to do that, people had the designs, very bold designs to do that. Very bold designs. Okay. I think this video is from SpaceX and commercial. Let's have a look. If the spaceship go to the Mars. planning what space doesn't and I should mention the original plan is to bring people there. It's not fly back. It's one-way ticket. Okay. Right. Okay. So but you see, a few hundred years ago, those Europeans come to North America. Most of it one-way ticket. They come to here. Okay, Europe is already developed, very luxury. They come to here, desert, almost nothing. You build their life here. They build home here, build North America, build USA, build Canada. Okay, this one-way ticket. It's not because they travel here, very few, they come back. The same thing as Mars. One-way ticket. All right, so, okay, there's another thing is space station on the asteroid. There's a lot of things on asteroid. Why we build space station on the asteroid? Because for commercial, okay. The asteroid, there's a lot of minerals. It's rich. You can harvest those minerals, and so to sell for the profit. So that's and so the company is doing that. And actually, this company is a very interesting commercial. It was interviewed.
Group of scientists, they're a business opportunity. They want to find asteroids that aren't too far from Earth, check them out, and extract materials from them that can be used to build cities in space.
We're going to be mining material from asteroids and providing it in orbit for people to build infrastructure and build very large constructions, things that frankly that they can make money off. Ultimately, have thousands of people living in space.
The company's also hoping to find fuel, such as propellant for spacecraft. Faber says that launching these raw materials on rockets from Earth is expensive, inefficient, and infrequent. It's one of the reasons why the idea of people living and working in space hasn't been taken seriously. But making those materials available at an in-orbit pit stop could change that. The mining expedition will begin with a small robotic spacecraft that will take samples and analyze the content of the rocks. Next, a larger craft will do the actual mining, hopefully returning with hundreds of tons of materials to start building infrastructure in space.
We've done the math, we've done the plans, and our plans show that it's 10 years out.
As more entrepreneurs eye making money in space, legal questions arise as to who actually owns this stuff. The United Nations Treaty on Outer Space from 1967 says that no country can own an asteroid or other celestial body, but it doesn't say anything about companies or individuals.
The rules are evolving as people are realizing that this is now a commercial endeavor. People do want to see this happen, and that's created a very positive environment. And so we'll see how that evolves over the next few years. We're active in the discussions.
But Deep Space Industries isn't sitting around. It's already started to build the avionics and technology for the spacecraft that will collect the samples.
In 2 years, we expect to be launching and going out and starting to touch and work with and get dirty.
Okay, so this is on the asteroid. Okay, now and many things is possible. So in the future, even travel throughout the solar system, it is possible. Okay, but when we talk about that, the problems start to appear. If you take a trip, you go to Mars, go to Jupiter, go to Saturn, it will take a long time. It will take maybe 30, 50 years. Okay, the human lifetime is very short. Okay, can we do that based on our current technology? It is like that. So I'm going to have an illustration here. This is actually what's going to happen if you are going to take a trip and to tour the solar systems. This is going to something looks like that. You see this, even the speed of the spacecraft is realistic. Okay, you have to see, and you are living comfortably on the hotel on the spacecraft if you understood that. Okay. Nothing in the orbit, in the second verse. Now we go to the moon. You need about a few weeks to go to the moon. A few months to go to Mars. Quite a few years to go to Mars. It's not like that. I mean, I carry about 1,000 passengers. Our side of Mars orbit, lots of actually no. Jupiter. Nice Uranus. Uranus. That's the Neptune. Space station, 80. So this has become typical. People think, oh my God, I spent such time to tour the solar system may not become interesting, right? Now, how about interstellar travel? We go to stars. Is this possible? It's really difficult. You see, if you tour the solar system, you need to spend something like 50 years, okay? Now, if you do the interstellar travel, you may spend thousands of years. The difficulty is the distance. You see the distance is very, very far away. The closest star, Proxima Centauri, is 2.224 light years away. That makes things difficult. Okay. So, but it's still possible. You can build big rocket, nuclear rocket, let's say. You travel fast enough, closer to the speed of light. Let's say we do it closer to the speed of light. Right? The closest star 4.3 light years away, then we can do it. Can we do it within 10 years, 20 years, and even 100 years? There's another problem. The problem is physics. The faster you travel, the time slows down. That means you travel to the future. Okay. And that means when you leave the Earth, your grandchildren is little. You come back the Earth, even in 20 years, your grandchildren may be passed away already. Okay, so interstellar travel. So we actually had the designs of these big nuclear engines, and I'm going to illustrate one video to see what is your interstellar travel. It means you travel to the future. Okay, this is the one design for nuclear engines. This is a big engine.
The ship would have to be big to carry a huge amount of fuel, enough to accelerate it to nearly the speed of light. Getting to just beneath the cosmic speed limit would require 6 whole years at full power. acceleration would be gentle because the ship would be so big and heavy. But gradually it would pick up speed and soon would be covering massive distances. In just 1 week, it would have reached the outer planets, gas giants like Neptune. After 2 years, it would reach half light speed and be far outside our solar system. Years later, it would be traveling at 90% of the speed of light speed and passing our closest star system, Alpha Centauri. Around 30 trillion miles away from Earth, and 4 years since launch, the ship begins to travel in time. For every hour of time on the ship, 2 hours pass on Earth. A similar situation to the spaceship that orbited the massive black hole. But there's more to come. After another 2 years of full thrust, the ship would reach its top speed, 99% of the speed of light. At this speed, a single day on board is a whole year of Earth time. Our ship would be truly flying into the future. The slowing of time has another benefit. It means we could, in theory, travel extraordinary distances within one human lifetime. A trip to the edge of the galaxy would take just 80 years.
Now, so this becomes a little unrealistic. Okay, I do interstellar travel, but I travel to the future. All right. So there's another design is to travel through the wormholes. Okay. The wormhole may become a way to travel through time and space. You know, in the physics, it refers to Einstein-Rosen bridge. Okay, the effect of black holes causes a huge distortion of space. Then it is on the other side connected with a white holes. Okay, if you go through this Rosen bridge, go through the wormholes, you travel to another space and time. Okay, it is, in theory, it is possible, but in practical, we don't know how to do it yet. In theory, hey, it is possible. Let's say go to Alpha Centauri. Let's go through the wormholes. Okay, but, you know, and within a few hours, maybe a few minutes, we go to nearest stars. So this is, but in practice, this may not be possible. Assuming this is possible, let's say somebody figured out how to do it. It's going to be something that looks like that. I'm going to illustrate. Okay. Go to the wormhole. Space and time was important. Come on, the plan. Okay. Now, whether or not it were possible, maybe. let's say in 200 years, there's another Einstein. Okay, maybe person smarter than the Einstein figured it out. Okay, how to do it. Maybe you guys. Okay, and figure out how to do it. However, so this comes to the questions. Our current understanding of physics tells us we cannot do it. Okay, it's impossible to do it. Okay, so we stuck on this tiny dot without limit and with limited resources. Okay, this is our current situation. However, if you look out in the night sky, billions of stars and also billions of galaxies, they're all there. And our future actually is not very certain yet. I say that. Why? This is the NASA image of the Earth taken by Mars rover on the Mars. We are a tiny dot over there. Everybody, no matter where you're from, we are on this tiny dot, very, very tiny dot. Suppose there's alien civilizations coming to visit us. Who? Everybody is on a tiny dot. What we are doing? You see here, I remember when I was a kid, okay, I'm very intelligent. I found ants are stupid because I watched the ants are fighting, the ants war, okay. Now aliens, if they are able to travel to us because maybe they are very advanced, they are smart, they look at us, maybe we are stupid, okay, because we are fighting all the times. We are fighting all the times, okay, and we are until today. People are fighting all the times. You see, and I mentioned this. You see, the most of the money, most of the human resources we spend on develop weapons. Okay, now if you look at Biden's speech. Oh my God, it's very scary. You see, I play this clip. This is real.
We've committed nearly 700 tanks and thousands of armored vehicles, 1,000 artillery systems, more than 2 million rounds of artillery ammunition, more than 50 advanced launch rocket systems, anti-ship and air defense systems. All defend Ukraine, and that doesn't count the other $500 million we're announcing with you today and tomorrow. That's going to be coming your way, and that's just the United States in this piece.
Ukraine, he promised give them weapons. 5. And who is going to talk about peace? So that's why every country, not only the US, okay, every country is crazy like that. I remember when I was at your age, okay, I watched a video called Cosmos. Professor Carl Sagan used to say that, used to say that. I'm going to play that videos, how crazy human is.
And the world impoverishes itself by spending $1 trillion a year on preparations for war, and by employing perhaps half the scientists and high technologists on the planet in military endeavors. How would we explain all this to a dispassionate extraterrestrial observer? What account would we give of our stewardship of the planet Earth? We have heard the rationales offered by the superpowers. We know who speaks for the nations, but who speaks for the human species? Who speaks for Earth? From an extraterrestrial perspective, our global civilization is clearly on the edge of failure in the most important task it faces, preserving the lives and well-being of its citizens and the future habitability of the planet. A new consciousness is developing which sees the Earth as a single organism and recognizes that an organism at war with itself is doomed. We are one planet.
You see, right now, it looks like we are doomed. at a tiny spot in the space, we kill each other, and we spend most of the money to kill each other. And we are not thinking about go out into the space. So what is our future looks like? If we look at the skies, can we survive millions of years to the future, then we can go to the stars? So I should say, we have a students here, we have teachers here. I should say the future depends on you. Because you guys are the guys to make decisions, right? Okay, what to do next? Are we going to kill each other? Are we going to build a city on the Mars? Build a city on the moon? Are we going to go to the stars? That all depends on you. Okay, so I'm going to finish, but I'm going to show this video before he passed away. Steve Hawking had this video.
Our planet is an old world, threatened with an ever-expanding population and finite resources. Exploration is a part of the human condition. It is wrapped up in our DNA, and for good reason. As a species, we search out new worlds to live in, if the old is threatened. If our species is to survive the next 100 years, let alone 1,000, it is imperative we voyage out into the blackness of space to colonize new worlds across the cosmos. The ISS is pioneering space exploration. Without this knowledge, travel into deep space is impossible. This is an incredible time to be human and reaching for the stars. Our technical know-how is breathtaking, our ambition is amazing, our cosmic goals are in reach. Within 50 years, I have no doubt, there will be settlements on the moon. And by the end of the century, I truly hope, humans will be living on Mars. If we follow this path, I have no doubt that this century will go down in the history of humankind as the true space age. I think the work Rick and Koichi are doing on the ISS will take a new generation of human space explorers out into our solar system and beyond.
Who is the new generation? You guys are new generation. Thank you very much. I'm going to take questions. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Another wonderful seminars, and thank you for sharing. Yeah, so before Q&A, as usual, actually today we all know like we have a group of very lucky students who actually sitting with Dr. Johnson together now at Caltech, yeah, and listening to the seminars. You guys very lucky. And so before that, I before we go to the Q&A, I have another announcement. A very meaningful event hosted by AEC Foundation, which is on next Saturday. We are going to have another on-site event. Name is Youth Service Learning and Leadership Forum. This forum actually we invite the people, the keynote speaker from United Nations, who work on the United Nations Sustainable Goals, Development Goals for more than 20 years. Yeah, so our students, especially our high schoolers here, if you are able to join, that will be perfect opportunities for you guys to get to know about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and learning how, like as a teenager, as a high schooler, how to start with service learning, how to caring about the society instead of killing. Okay, so here you can see if you want to know, get to know more details about the sum up things. Here's a link. Yeah, link in the chat box. Just feel free to click the link and get to know more about the event next Saturday. Yeah, it is on R1 in R1. So okay, so now it's going to our Q&A session. Here because of time, so we will take like 2 questions here. Here. Yeah. Is that okay, Dr. Johnson? 2 questions here.
Okay, let's take 2 questions. Okay.
Okay, cool. So here I found there's one. Anyone who want to ask, just raise your hand.
One question in the room. Okay. So,
okay.
Cindy, pick one question online. Yeah.
Oh yes, take one. Yeah, I know. So, Jeff, can you just like raise your hand, and our people can make you as or go to the. You can ask by yourself. Jeff, yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Wait, what?
Jeff, there's a Jeff. You can ask now. You can unmute yourself and ask question by yourself.
I'm working on designing a rocket that could send humans to Mars when I grow up. How much delta V is needed to get there and back?
Sorry, say it again.
I'm working on designing a rocket that could send humans to Mars when I grow up. How much delta V is needed to get there and back?
Okay, this we don't know. Okay, so so you want to send the humans to there and come back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Come back. The Mars is slightly smaller, so the gravity is slightly smaller. Okay. So but still Mars is big. Okay, and so you need to have enough fuels to take the rockets up and coming back. Okay. So how to design the rocket? You mentioned you are doing design that. Okay, that's very good. Okay, so I will encourage you to do some research to see, hey, if you launch the rocket from surface of Mars and coming back, how big the rocket is, and so how big the fuel is, and what's the velocity is going to be achieved. This is not difficult. If you study physics, I think you can do it. Okay.
Okay, because currently I just designed a super bad rocket engine that can't even lift an elephant.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take one question inside the room. Mark.
Yes, it's not a question, but what you said that the speed limit of the universe is the speed of light. Why is that the speed limit? Can we ever go past that? And would it ever be practicable to even go that fast?
Because the general relativity proves and also experiment proves, and actually we are not living. Okay, your experience is 3-dimensional space, but actually we are not living only in 3-dimensional space. We are living in 4-dimensional space and time. Okay, that means the time and space is related. If you travel faster, the time is going to be slowed down. Okay, and if you don't travel, and in speed, the time is travel fast. Okay, so this is being proven by the general theory of relativity and also by the experiment. And also in the 4-dimensional space and time where we are living now, nothing can go faster than speed of light. That's right.
And,
yeah.
And you said like we can at the speed of light. Would that even so like the energy
and okay. And now if the amount of energy is no issue, we can do that. Of course, and some people calculate if you burn all the fossil fuel, and so that's not enough energies. Okay, if you create, now we're talking about nuclear energies. Okay, nuclear fusions. Okay, and so that is possible if you gather enough nuclear fusion materials. Maybe it's possible. Okay, people are doing research like solar cell, like iron, and propulsion. I still don't think how it's possible you can reach 99% speed of light. Maybe 0.1% speed of light. Okay, that would be good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And Cindy, I think we end today. Right?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jonathan. Yes, thank you, everyone. Yeah, our next seminar will be happen on a month later. It is on May 13th, and the topic is In Search of American Dream. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah, again.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye bye now.